Well, hello, 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 and welcome to Vessel of Hope. Hi, it's Tuesday, guys. I'm here with your Tuesday goodness and Tuesday grace. Your Tuesday, they just get away from the day. I know. We just had Thanksgiving. You've ate a lot. Apostles already yarning, and we just started. We're moving along. We're moving. You ate a lot for Thanksgiving, so you're trying to unwind. You got to flush out all of that turkey and everything that you ate. So I'm here to just take you away from your regrets of eating what you ate at Thanksgiving. You ate too much. I know you did. But can I just share a little secret? I didn't even get to eat half of the stuff that we prepared. Y'all, I was really mad about it. I didn't have no fish. I didn't even have none of the baked pork. Y'all, I'm not even gonna go on and on about what I didn't have. But it was a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you all so much for joining, for being a part today. So you know what I need you to do? For those of you that are on Facebook, you know what I need you to do? I need you to go ahead and show me some love. Love it for me. I need you to share it on your wall. Do what you got to do to make it be known that Vessel of Hope is on today. And for those of you on YouTube, you know what you got to do as well. I need you to go ahead. I need you to like. I need you to subscribe. I need you to click the notification bar. You know what always cracks me up? This is what always cracks me up here, guys. This is what cracks me up. On YouTube or Facebook, when I go through the data, I'm like, oh, a lot of people's watching me for this show, for Prophetic Declaration, Prophetic Flow. A lot of people's watching, but I'm like, They said we had like, for Apostle, let's use Apostle. I'm like, Apostle had like 5,000 people. And while we only got 200 people like it. Come on, guys. We got to do better. Right? We got to do better. Okay. So thank you all so much. Go ahead and do it. Like, share, subscribe. Do what you got to do so we can move forward. Okay. So today I want to talk to you on what's said is said and what's done is done. Right? What's said is said and what's done is done. I know some of you may not want to admit it, but you can say that you have said some things or done some things back in the way back, and you wish you could unset it. You wish you can undo it, but we know it's already done. We cannot unset it. We cannot undo what's already been done, right? Oh, right. We know that it's already said. It's already done. Okay, Phil, we're gonna be praying for your soulmate. All right, Phil, we got you. God got you. God got you, Phil. You're going to send you that soulmate, brother. You're going to send that soulmate. You continue to seek him. Remember, you're the one that got to do the work, because the man that find a wife find a good thing and he obtain favor with the Lord. So you got to be the one to know when the woman is right and God sent her for you, and you got to do the work to go to her. Don't try to just sit back and be like, oh, she can come to me. No, she's not going to come to you. You got to do the work. You got to go forth and pray and ask God if this is the one that he sent for you, so you can go forth and get the wife. Oh, I like how I just put that in there. Thank you, Phil. We're praying for you to God to send you your soulmate. Okay, so you said some things, you've done some things, and you can't undo it, and you can't unsay it, right? So I have one tool for you on how to deal or how to navigate or maneuver when what's said is said and what's done is done. And the only tool I have for you is to learn from it. And for those of you who've been watching Vessel of Hope a while, like I like to say, life is a lesson. There's tools there. There's things that you learn from, that you navigate from. Let me do a side note. Just yesterday, bringing Mother P back home, Mother P took me to Brooklyn. Y'all, it was freezing yesterday. Y'all, Brooklyn was, forget where Brooklyn, where we was at. Oh my Lord, it was, we close to the water. It was, come on, right? So we're driving back, and I'm talking to Apostle, and I said to her, and I said to her, I'm like, I'm gonna have to do some little more research on this particular scripture, right? The enemy came to steal, to kill, and to destroy. It's like, so we're talking and we're dealing about it. And I was like, wow, so interesting that you can quote a scripture so many times and you look at it in one way, right? And you interpret it in one way, but all of a sudden a situation happened, something happened, and that scripture begin to give a new light, like God give you a little fresher revelation on it, right? You're like, wow, I didn't learn that before. So that's life. You learn from life. You go through things and you learn from it. But the one tool I have for you as to what's said is said and what's done is done is for you to learn from it. As individuals, you have to learn from what was said and what was done, so that there won't be a repeat. And this is one of the things. Deacons Felita, that a lot of times, sometimes we forget. If you learn from it, Prophetess Guy, if you learn from what was said, if you learn from what was done, it will enable us not to repeat it. But when we don't learn, Prophetess Loretta, we like this word insanity. When you don't learn, you're just repeating and repeating and repeating, and you're doing the same thing over and over again. This is why you do it over and over again, because you haven't learned from what was done, and you haven't learned from what was said. So you have to find ways to learn. So let's break it down. We're going to deal with Sister Bassett. We're going to deal with first with what's said, right? With what's said. What's said is said, right? The things about things that's already said is that it's already out there. You ever like kids if they're in trouble, Sister Bassett, they're in trouble, and they said something, they go like that, right? Or if they heard an adult or someone else say something, they hold their mouth for them, right? Because they're like, oh, I can't believe you just said that. But it's already said. It's already out there. It's already in the atmosphere. It's already in the universe. It's already in the earth, because it's already been said. It's like someone like when someone says a lie, right, Sister Bassett? They'll say a lie, and it's already spoken. And you cannot try and tell that truth about that lie that's already broadcast. You can try to tell the truth about that lie that's already broadcast, but it's already said. So you have to watch what's being said. Because sometimes you'll hear like it's so funny, because I'm watching this documentary, right? I'm not gonna say what it is, because they're not sponsoring this broadcast. So I was watching this documentary, right? And then they're talking about how the media was giving a narrative of the negative about this family. So then come to find out, now they have to switch the narrative and so on and so forth. But they're trying to prove they're innocent. But the thing is, it's already said that the family is the one that's did it. The family's the one that's wrong. The family's the one that should be looked at. That narrative's already there. Those lies have already been spread, right? So it's already said, and it's hard to pull back away from what's said. It's simple. It's like when individuals say lie, when someone tell you a lie about someone, right? We talked about this before. I gave that story, that scenario. You're going out to eat with Mary, and Mary said Susie is coming, but Mary's like, oh, but Susie, she just talks so much. You're not gonna like her personality just so much. So you're like, oh, so you automatically are thinking Susie's personality is so much. She talks so much, so you're bracing yourself for when you meet Susie. You're not gonna like Susie because she's just so arrogant, she's just so this. But you go with Mary, you sit down and you meet Susie, and you already have that mindset that Mary told you. Susie, she talks so much. Susie, you're not gonna like her. She's just too much. She's just extra. So you sit down and you talk to Susie, and Susie is actually a nice person, but because Mary already said what she said, it already got into your ear gates. It got into your spirit. So it's hard for you to shuffle out that Susie talks too much, that you would not like Susie because Mary already told you not to like Susie. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I always say you have to paint your own picture. Don't allow people to paint pictures for you. Paint your own. Be your own artist, right? Sit down with an easel and just do your little drawing. Be your own artist. Paint your own picture. Because when an individual paints picture for you, especially about someone else, you go into that conversation or that relationship or meeting that person with the picture that's already painted and what's happened. Sometimes it can, right? That's right, Prophet Loretta. It can be that negative or the negativity of what that person said. So you're going and meeting this individual. You're like, yeah, no, I don't know. She not, no. I already know what they like. I already, And it's again, we talk about there was two sides to the story. There's two sides to the story. You hear one side of the story, you are automatically going to believe they're like, yeah, I know they're wrong. So when you hear the other side, you're like, oh wow, but this is not really what they said. They kind of omitted a lot of this. Kind of like someone saying something to me, and they was like, oh, you know that, right? And I'm like, they're like, oh, I told you that. I'm like, when you told me this, you never told me that. This is, I don't know, right? Because what's already been said is said. So watch what you say. When you watch what you say, you keep yourself from regret and out of trouble. You keep yourself from regret and out of trouble. Look at what Proverbs 21:23, God Word Translation said. Here it says it like this, beginners for leader. When it says it like this, whoever guards his mouth and his tongue keep himself out of trouble. It's just that simple, Dylan. It's just that simple. When you guard your mouth, when you guard your mouth, right? When you guard your mouth and you guard your tongue, it keeps you out of trouble. This is why you cannot always have you don't have to always say things, right? Because so when you guard your mouth, when you guard your mouth, you keep your tongue from speaking, you keep yourself out of trouble. Because what? Now someone's not gonna go and say, oh, you know what so and so said? So and so ain't say, I ain't say jip jack squiddly squat. You hear me? I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Remember in Sunday school? In Sunday school, they teach you this song, right? Watch your eyes, what it see. Watch your ears, what it hear. Watch your mouth, what it speak, right? For there's a Father up above, looking down with tender love. Watch your mouth, what you speak. And it's so true. And this is what Solomon said. If you keep your mouth, right? And if you keep your tongue, right? It helps you. It keeps you out of trouble. Not everything someone say you have to respond to. Right? That's right, Dylan. Guard your mouth. Avoid headaches. Ain't that the truth? And listen. You know. Sometimes you just want to tell somebody about themselves, right? Sometimes you want to, we talk about the reactive. We have to stop ourselves from being reactive, because sometimes individuals will say some things and you want to say it, but you're thinking to yourself, nope, if I say it, I can't unsay it. And that's how we have to think about things, especially when we're upset, when we're annoyed, and we want to lash out. We have to say, you know what? If I say it, I can't unsay it. Remember, words have power. Is by the Lord said in the beginning, what God said, let there be. His word formed the world. So your words have power. So the things you say to someone, it can either make them, break them, or destroy them. So we have to be careful. But then we already know that what's said, it's already been said, and we can't suck it back in and be like, oh, I should have never said that, right? So not everything you have to respond to. Not because they lie mean you have to defend. And he used to have some kids like that, right? Prophet Scott used to have some kids. Oh, when one come and tell a story, they be like, oh, but they said it, and the next one like, no, but I never said it. But parents, those of you that are parents, or you have nieces and nephews, you know their personality, so you know, I know you lying on this person. I know you making up a story. So that child's like, they don't have to defend themselves, because they just look at you like CJ, my godson CJ. He's like this. When his brother come and tell a story, he just looks like, now you know that's something I wouldn't do, right? He doesn't even need to say anything, because he's like, I don't even need to defend myself, because I know him, and he's like, he looked at me like, I would, like, wouldn't do that, right? So not every lie you have to defend, because what? It's a lie. Why are we defending a lie? You ever thought about how can you defend a lie? Why are you fighting and trying to defend a lie? Because a lie is a lie. Not because they said mean things to you means you have to respond. Sometimes you just have to be quiet. That's what I tell the kids all the time. Oh, he just said I stink. And then they get out of hand. No, your mother stink. Like, hey, whoa. you take it a little notch. Nah, right? Why? And this is what Solomon said. Guard your mouth. You don't have to respond. You don't have to say anything, because what? It leads you into trouble. So not every time someone says something to you that hurts you, you have to defend it. No, you don't have to defend it. Look at what Proverbs 10:19, the Amplified Bible says it this way. It says, where there are many words, transgression and offense are unavoidable. But he who controls his lips and keep thoughtful silence is wise. What it said? Where there are many words, transgression and offense are unavoidable. Y'all, let me tell you. Ain't nothing more annoying than someone that talk nonsensical. Y'all know I love this word. We talked about sentences last week. There's nothing more annoying than someone talk nonsensical. Why? Because they're just talking. And what Solomon says, they have many words, so then all of a sudden as they're talking, they begin to offend you. You know those co-workers that just go and and you're like, why? Why are you still talking? Why? Stop talking. Stop talking. Let's avoid the long speech. You know, in school they talk about the run-on sentence. That's some individual. The run-on talk. Your prophet's read lies. Yeah, the run-on talk. So Solomon is letting us know. He said, when there are many words, transgression and offense are unavoidable. And this is like when you have those long conversations, especially over the phone. There's something about when you're on a phone conversation, how it can lead you into disruption and destruction. But there's difference when you're sitting down and you're talking face to face with someone. You watch your tone a little better, right? You watch what you say a little more, right? When you're face to face, because you're a little more cautious. But over the phone, you're just going. Like I say, oh boy, you're having diarrhea of the mouth today. You gotta calm that down, right? So we have to be careful. Solomon says it again. He says, I'm gonna say it one more time. When there are many words, transgression and offense are unavoidable. But he who control his lips and keep thoughtfully silent is wise. You gotta keep yourself silent. You know, the scripture tells us to be slow to speak, right? Yeah.
Quick to hear,
quick to hear, slow to speak. You gotta. You don't have to respond. You don't have to say something. One of the hardest things to do is to unhear once someone said something that is painful. You remember when you were younger? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. That's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Words are hurtful. And one of the most painful things is when someone says some words that are painful. It stick to you, right? It stick to you like rubber and glue, right, Providence Guy? He that keepeth his mouth, keepeth his life. Oh, Providence Guy, you preaching here. That's right. That's right. Keep your mouth, you keep your life. And this is what I tell the kids. That's what I used to tell them. You ever had a fist to the mouth? Stop talking. Stop talking. Because you keep your mouth, you keep your life. If you keep talking, it's like you're in a confrontation with someone. You're in a confrontation with someone and you just keep going and they keep going, you just keep going and they keep going, you just keep going and they keep going. What's gonna happen? After a while, the words that are gonna be said is some painful is gonna come out. And what's gonna happen? A fist might be thrown, a kick might be going, a knife might be coming out, a gun might be coming out. Why? Because what? Because we're now watching what we're saying. Right? So remember, what's said is already said, what's done is already done. But one of the hurtful things is when someone says something that's painful. You cannot unhear it. You have someone have said something to you so painful and you lay down at night and all you're thinking about is what they said. It's already said. It can't come out because they said it to you. It's there. Girl, you ugly. Girl, you no good. Right? You will never amount to anything great. You can't find anyone better than me. These words have been said. And it's already said. Right? These words have already been said, but you have to find ways to learn from these words. Learn from the negativity. And that's what we gotta do for ourselves. Learn from the negativity. You have to learn from it by proving the sayer wrong. By proving the person that say these words, prove them wrong. You know what you say? I will find someone better than you. Ain't nothing more annoying than when someone tell you something and you give the opposite of what they say. This was it. I will find someone better than you. I will amount to something great. What I call it. I like to call this canceled saying. Canceled saying. Every negative thing that's been said to you, you cancel it. You so poor. No, I'm rich. You so ugly. No, I'm beautiful. Your husband so broke up. No, he's strong. Every negative thing that's been said, you cancel it. Cancel saying. Why? Because that now proves the naysayer, listen, Your word has already been said, but I'm learning from it, so I'm canceling your words. Oh, you like that? Not my toe. That was my knee actually. You cancel the words that's been said. Saying a positive to the negative that have been said. Cancel saying. Remember that. Cancel saying. Saying a positive to the negative that has been said. So when someone speak those words that's already out there, no, you said nope, I reject it. Nope, I reject it. I don't receive it. I don't receive it. I don't receive it in my life. I don't receive it in my kid's life. I don't receive it in my marriage. I don't receive it on the job. I don't receive it. I cancel it. You know, people like to say, I send it back to the pits of hell. That's right. Cancel the words. Cancel the negativity. There we go. And this is something too. If you know this individual that's they're always negative and they're always speaking negative things to you. Why? Because what's said is already said. It's already there. It's already in your ears. And one of the hardest things, like I said before, is when something get into your ears, get into your spirit. It's hard to flush that out. It's really hard. So we have to be careful to cancel the negative saying, right? So that's talking about what's said is said. Now let's talk about what's done is done. What's done is done. You have to learn. You have to learn from it. Again, as we deal with what's learned from it, you have to realize that it's done already. You know, realize that. Sometimes that's hard. Realize it's done already. I can't do it. It's kind of like you know what? Sometimes one time I was making lasagna. I was making my sauce for lasagna, right? And I put sugar. So I'm putting sugar. Stirring it, and I'm like, ooh! And I get distracted. This is why I want to make certain things. When I'm making my mac and cheese or making my lasagna, don't tell Noah about mac and cheese. No, Kaden, don't say it, right? So when I'm making my mac and cheese and when I'm making my lasagna, I like to concentrate. I don't like anyone around. I don't want you talking to me because of it. So something was going on. So I'm throwing the sugar, and then I'm having a conversation. Must be Mother P. You know, gotta be Mother P. Mother P must have been the one came in the kitchen. Gotta be her. So I'm having a conversation. And then I'm talking and I'm still throwing sugar. Now, and I'm mixing, and I'm like, ooh, Lord, this thing got a lot of sugar. This is not lasagna mix anymore. This is just sugar mix, you know? I already poured all that sugar in it. So I try to put some salt in it. I try to put some salt to try to like pull out the sugar. I try to put some more sauce to try to pull out the sugar. But that was already done. And then I'm like, you know what? I can't. And I'm big on this. I'm big on this. Mother P always get to me. And the pastor always get to me on this. I'm big on this. If I cook something and I don't like how it tastes, I throw the whole meal away. I throw the whole meal away. You hear me? The whole meal is in the trash. And I start again. So Mother P was in the kitchen. I was like, oh, I can't even throw this away because Mother P's there. But I was like, oh, I already used it. Probably got for Mother P. Not for Mother P. So I was like, oh man, I already used the ground beef, and I already used all the sauce. And I was just to redo the seasoning again, and then like Mother P is this, I can't throw it away because she's gonna see. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead. So I tried to redeem it, but what's done was already done. The sugar was already in there. So I'm like, Mother P, Mother P don't really eat lasagna because it's too fattening, you know. So I'm like, I'm getting a little piece. But I'm like, I messed up my whole dish because I put all the sugar not paying attention. But that was already done. So I can't redo it. I could redo it, but what? It's gonna take more time. It's gonna push back dinner. So we had to succumb to the fact. And we just, I mean, it tastes good in the end. No one complained, but I do, right? But I couldn't undo it. So we have to be careful with the things that's already done. It's hard to undo it. It's like a spouse that cheated. The act has already been committed, right? They already cheated. But now what they were trying to do, they're trying to redeem themselves. They're trying to prove themselves, girl or husband, you're the only one that I love. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it. I love you. It's just a one-time thing. But the act is already done. What's done is done. Now they have to learn from that and say, I gotta try to redeem myself. In order for that spouse to let me back in that bed, I have to redeem myself. In order for that spouse, in order for us to get back to that place of trust and love, I have to redeem myself. So what's done is already done. The things that you have done, that you have regret, you cannot undo. This is something you have to remember. The things that you have already done, you cannot undo it. You know, like those parents, oh, I should have never had you. Well, you already had them. You already had them. You can't put them back in the womb and say, stay there. You already did it, right? Oh, I should have never got in a relationship with you. It's already done. You were in that relationship, now you're out, you move forward. It's done. We cannot undo the things that have been done. You cannot undo it, but you can find ways. But you can find ways to move forward from the act.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I thought I was fighting over there. But you can find ways to move forward from the act. Amen, brothers, guy? Right. Look at what Isaiah 43:18 says. Contemporary English Bible. Contemporary English Bible said it this way. Forget what's happened long ago. Don't think about the past. That's what he said. That's what he said. You know, King James said, you know, remember not the former things. That's what the King James says. But here's what the contemporary said. Forget what happened long ago. Don't think about the past. The God Word translation said it this way. I like this one. That's why I had to put this in there. Forget what happened in the past and do not dwell on events from long ago. Y'all, this is something that we kill ourselves with. That we mentally kill ourselves with. We sit down and we ponder the rivers of Babylon, where we sat. Right, Prophet Guy? We sit down and we pondered the things that we did that we could have done differently. We sit down and we ponder the things that we said that we could have said that, but you cannot do that. You have to learn from it. Why? Because what's said is said and what's done is done. Don't remember the negative things of yesteryear, because why? It's gonna make you lose sleep. Pastor and I was just talking about this today. It was someone we were talking about. I don't remember who it was. And this person had cancer. Just found out they had cancer. So it's funny, Apostle and I were talking about this a while back, about how stress can cause cancer. Did you know that? And why? And a lot of these stress happen because we're sitting down, we're thinking about what you should have said, about what you should have done, about how you should have did this, about where you should have gone. But you can't, because what's done, what it say with me, somebody, what's done is done. When the food is finished cooking, you take it out and you eat it. You cannot put a cooked food back in the stove or in the oven because it's cooked already. You're going to overcook it. Nobody want to eat it because it's done. So you take it out, right? You cut it. You cut your pie. You eat it because it's done. So we have to learn that. We have to learn that. Right, Prophet Joyce? And sometimes that's hard. I know as believers in Christ, sometimes that's hard to let go, right? We sing the song, let go, let God, they fight your battles. If you let him, if you let go, you let God. It's easy to sing it, it's easy to say it, but we have to believe it, we have to do it. We have to say what's done is done. I cannot redo it. I cannot rethink it. I cannot go back. We cannot go back to the future. We're not Marty McFly. We cannot go back to the future and redo the future. Go back to the future, redo it, go back to the past, redo it, and think the future is going to be different, present's going to be no. We have to learn from it, because what? Because what's said is said and what's done is done. So many times as individuals, you dwell and you live in what's said and what was done, forgetting that you cannot unsaid nor can you undo it. What's said is said, what's done is done. You just have to move forward and learn from it. Right? You know, sometimes you know, when you're dealing with what's said is said, someone can say something to you. Right? And that person realized what they said is wrong. They can come back and they apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, no, I shouldn't have said that. You know, I didn't mean to say it that way. But what happened? It's already said. You'll accept their apologies. Some people say, yeah, okay, yeah, you know, that's fine. But it's already said. Someone acted a certain way towards you, did something to you that hurt you. They came back and it's like, oh, you know, I didn't mean to stab you. I didn't mean to stab you in the back. I meant to stab you in your knee. You know, I didn't mean to stab you. I didn't mean to hurt you. But it happened. You did it. So now what you do? You learn from it. You know what? I shouldn't carry on conversation with this person anymore because they say things. And then when they say it, again, in my spirit, it's hard for me to get it out. You know what? I don't think I will hang out with this person anymore because they do things. They do things in front of me. They do things to me. And when it's already done, I can't it can't be undone. It's already done. So what? So we learn from it, right? So remember, as we close, what's said is said. What's done is done. You cannot undo it. You cannot unsay it. But you have to learn from it. Come on, somebody say it with me. What's said is said. What's done is done. You cannot unsay it. You cannot undo it. You just have to learn from it. And I'm saying it because I know as believers, you live so much in the past. You know, you live so much in what he did, what she did, how they did. You know, one time I was talking to somebody, I think it was Pastor and I was talking to someone, and the person went back and said what their grandmother did. And I'm like, your grandmother been dead for years. How you go all the way back to what their grandmother did to them? Like, wow. That's another level. You need to do some therapy here, you know. Let me close with this. Story. One time I was talking to someone, and you know, this was a kid, and they were saying some stuff and doing some stuff. So I said, you know, let me call them out. And let me explain to her. This child is saying these things. You know, it was an emotional roller coaster for that child out of nowhere, because there wasn't nothing traumatic happening in their life as we know. So the child started saying some things like, I know you wish I was never born. I was like, child, I never said that to you. What's wrong with you, Willis? You know, and just start saying crazy things like, oh, I should have just died. I'm like, oh, you take it to the level. So I called the mom one day. I'm walking to my doctor, and I called the mom, and I said, hey, you know, this child is saying so and so. So I think you may need for them to see a therapist. Let me see a counselor to discuss, because we don't know what's deep down inside, because they're crying and they're thinking that you don't love them, and they're thinking that you don't love them, and that they should have been born. You know, these are. I think the child was like 7 or 8 at this time. So that's some serious thing this child is saying. You know what the parent said to me? The parent said, I don't want to do that because I don't want him to be in the system. I said, what? And, you know, for a second I thought about it, and I was like, wow, I shouldn't have said anything. But it was already said. I should have reacted and called the parents and said it. But then in my Marcelle mind, in my pastor's mind, I'm like, yeah, the parent needed to know this information. This is what the child is feeling. But the parents said to me, they don't want them to be in the system. Because I said, the school have counselors, they can talk to them. No, they're going to go to. I said, well, you know what? Your insurance will cover for them to have a personal psychologist that they can talk to, or you could pay out of pocket and get a Christian counselor to talk to them. No, I don't. I'm gonna have to think about that. I don't think so, because I don't think this is gonna be right. It's not gonna sit right. I said, okay. Well, if that's how you feel, I understand. You are the parent at the end of the day. But what was already said was already said. I already said it, and I felt like I did my part. But that parent felt like, how could you come and say this to me? This is not your place to say this. And sometimes you can say some things that is not negative, but just helpful, or just in a caring way, or you know what, this may help this person, and you may feel rejection from it. You know what? You say, you know what? What's already said is said. There's nothing I can do about it, and you walk away from it, right? So again, what's said is said. What's done is done. You just have to learn from it. You can't undo it, and you can't unset it, right? Well, I hope this was good for you. Let's pray. I hope that you learned something. I hope you shared. I hope you liked. Did you like me? Did you like me? Did you like me? I hope you liked. I hope you shared, right? As we had spent our couple minutes together in our dialogue play. Lord, I thank you for your people. I thank you for keeping them. I thank you for touching them and blessing them. Let them understand that what's said is already said. They cannot go back and take back those words. And what's done is already done. They cannot go back and undo the past. But they can learn from it. Learn not to say those words again. Or learn what to say better. And learn not to do those things again. Or learn what to do better, Lord. I pray that you keep your people. Continue to strengthen them through this time. And bless them indeed. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, I hope you had a good time. I had a good time having this conversation with you. I love you. I appreciate you. Don't forget, go ahead and click and go on www.hellomarcelsampson.com. Catch up on the blog. Read it, be encouraged, be motivated. Don't forget, share, like, and comment. I love and appreciate you all. And you know what? I will see you all right here next week. Same time, same place. Right? Bye now. Mwah. Love ya.